Make sure we're live and up. There we go. Awesome. Welcome back, guys. We are live. Nvidia earnings. Excited to trade this. It's going to be very volatile, so if you're trading this, remember stop losses, all right? Stop losses are the name of the game. Make sure you protect your money. Please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Show some love on the channel, all right? I want to show you just a few things here. This is the YouTube channel. You have the WAP right here. You click on this link. Just click right on the links. You can join the WAP if you want to directly chat with me. Thank you to my members. We're gaining some more members. I'm adding some more members-only videos, like how to make 2,000 in 10 minutes, my EMA 2,000 bounce, ultimate dip buying strategy, my YouTube portfolio, much more. Here's access to the WAP. This allows you to directly chat with me about stocks, chart levels, and trades. And here is my Twitter. Please follow it, Trade Simplify 7. Come check it out. I posted the gains today, $354 today. As you scroll down, you will see that I'm up over, after today's gains, 55,000 year to date. Made 2,000 the other day. Just continuing to add to the gains. So, and if you're into the free stuff, check out the playlist. We got the Robinhood platform on here. We got the members only playlist for the paying members that support the channel. And we also have Fidelity, Vanguard, all the fun stuff. Now let's get into it. Let's keep this up. We'll keep the chart up. And what we'll do is we'll have the news when we can find out when the actual earnings post. There's definitely a few levels we need to look out for, which we'll review. So we'll check that out. And what's your prediction for Nvidia? Bull, up or down? So I definitely want to hear it from you in the comments. Let me know what you think. And just confirm with me that the audio is okay. That you can hear me okay. You might hear a fan in the background. It is what it is. All right, I'm using this to keep the computer cool. That's what we need, all right? We got the Nvidia earnings Q&A poll. Make sure you're checking in with that. Oh, man, I hope it dumps and then it pumps. That would just be fantastic. Because if it dumps, I'm going in. But we're going to review the levels first. We want to make sure that we're prepared. We have a plan. And that's what's most important, is the plan. When I trade earnings, I'm using Fidelity Active Trader Pro on another computer. I'm obviously not going to have that up on this. And what you need to do is I like to really watch the level 2 on the directed, I think it's, let me see what's the actual name for it on Fidelity. The directed trade and extended options. Because we got to be very careful. All right, let me see here. Trying to figure out what's a good amount of shares that I'm willing to put into this bad boy. The thing with these earnings is you really got to get the news and then the dip. As long as we get the dip, we're going to see. I have a feeling they're going to crush earnings. So we'll see how it goes. Excuse me. Let's see here. Let me bring up. Got the Nvidia earnings so far, 100% thinking Nvidia is going to be going to the moon. No, see, 134. I mean, it could be support. You could be right. But I'm looking at, I want a real pullback. I want like a real pullback. I even set an alarm for Nvda earnings. But let me go through the levels so we're all prepared here. They were predicting a 7 to 8% move. So let's just use 135. The only way I'm getting in this stock is we got to break 130. We got to head to about 128. 128 or below, I'll start potentially buying. Obviously, we're going to have to feel it out, see what it looks like. It might just pop to the moon. Who knows? I'm hoping we get a pullback because a pullback would be a lot easier to trade this. Jay Young, this always happens during earnings. I mean, nothing is reported yet, so we'll see. And you're going to see it move points within seconds, which is always impressive. Now, in a perfect world, I get Nvidia at 116. I don't think that's going to happen. That's too big of a pullback. Something would have to be fundamentally wrong with Nvidia. That's 13% right there, you know. But if I can get an 8% pullback to about, even if it's 128, that's 5%. That might be my first entry. I'm going to probably do 2 buys on this if it does dip. So 128 is definitely the first level that I'm looking at. Guys, not financial advice. You do not make trades just because I'm buying stuff here, all right? I'm just setting some levels here. Just have an idea of like, if it gets to yellow, this is what I'm interested in. And what I like to do, which I know not a lot of traders do this, but I'll show you. If it does pull back that far, I like to put a little note. Just so I know if we do get this pullback at 128 is a 5% pullback. So then I'm prepared to know, okay, 128, 5% pullback. Because I've noticed that when stocks really move and they predict these 7 to 8%, they usually do swing that much. So let's say we get 8%, that's 125. So I'm gonna make another level at 125. This may not happen. I could be doing this for no reason at all. But I like to be prepared. Just so it's there. I would like it to stay. I guess it doesn't stay, but whatever. And because it moves so fast, only managed to get 8% on BBI. That's amazing, man. 8% gains is awesome. You make 8% gains every single day, you'd be a rich man. Especially on BBI that literally died. It didn't do anything. Jay Young scalping. If Jay Young's scalping, I know we're all in trouble. That is true. Typical day in crypto land. Alright, so let's almost close it a bell. I'm watching the level 2s. Some big buyers coming in. I just saw a 10,000 share buy order, 135. I don't know if they're covering. Very interesting though. But market is closing. Let's zoom in on a little bit on it. And what we're going to need to do is I'm going to have the 5-day up because we have our levels that are marked. And we'll leave it like this because I want to see if it starts really moving. I'm going to put this on the 1 minute. It's a waste of our time having it like that. There, I guess I have to keep it on the 5 minutes. Okay. But we'll see. Jay, remember how we were talking about gifting the memberships? I'm trying to take a look. What EMA is that? This EMA, you have the 9 in red, the white is 21, and the 200 is green. This stock is selling off. Look at this bad boy. It's going down, 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 baby. Really selling off. Look at this. Just gonna keep an eye on it for now. I like to really be patient, you know? I like to be very patient. It may just go to the moon without me. I'm okay with that. I have no problem. If I miss Nvidia and it blasts up above 137 and I don't trade it, I'm totally okay with that. I'm not willing to buy Nvidia at this level, knowing 1 month ago that it was at $100 per share. So that is my perspective. I'm already up 55,000 trading. Made another couple $100 today. Tomorrow's another day. This is complete gambling when you're trying to trade these swings. You got to be very cautious. And it can move points very quickly. So you have to be careful, all right? Don't do anything stupid trading earnings. It's easier to wait and trade it when you already know the levels. So you can even just let today go, not even trade it, and then trade it tomorrow where you can see where it has popped off. That's just another way to do it. If anybody gets the news too, I will try to get it as well, but sometimes it doesn't pop up as quick. So if you get the news, just send it in the chat so we can all work together. You know what I mean? I really would love to see this dip really quickly down to at least 130. Let's get a dip there first, because you're probably going to get some kind of support here. As like, this is like a second, you know, millisecond, you know, let's just see what it does. It's going to move rapidly, and that's my favorite. I appreciate you guys hitting the thumbs up button. Thank you so much. 2144. But right now, it's holding that support at that level. I mean, we should get the news any minute now. I'm wondering, is it... Sometimes NVIDIA has that where it does it at 420 or 425. Like an exact release. You'll know when the AI starts kicking in. Starting to get some action here, looking at it here. Sold off pretty good, but now it's holding that level, so we'll see. I don't see any news yet. So I'm not buying and selling on Webull. What you're seeing is on Webull. I have Fidelity Active Trader Pro on my separate laptop. It looks like it's going to the moon without us. I don't see any news yet though, so I want to see news first before we start pulling the trigger here. See what we got going on. Would love to just see a real dip on Nvidia. I mean, Nvidia has died a lot of the earnings. I mean, it's ran up so much. I would not expect it to keep going, but you never know. So what are you guys' predictions? Tell me in the chat. Tell me what you think. You think this is going up, going down, left, right? Yeah, just waiting until we get some actual news here. It's like that waiting game. $117. We would love 117. Is that going to happen, Jae-Young? I don't know. Something tells me no. Even that push up right here, if we were to shoot up, even from here, it's only 1% move. 1% down here. But we'll see. Come on. I have a feeling Jensen Huang is putting out this news in 12 minutes. It's 4:09:01 right now. Just don't like how it's creeping up. I want to see it sell off. Yeah, Scott Smith, I agree. I mean, we kind of know what's going on. We know the big companies are buying Nvidia chips. They're all using it, etc. That's why I'm kind of hoping we get some kind of lackluster performance. They perform well, but still sells off. Yeah, 420 is probably it. I guess 10 minutes, huh? Yeah, I appreciate you tuning in, supporting the channel, man. Come on, give us something good here. Yeah, it's like one of those waiting games, unfortunately. But if we get that pullback like we're thinking, and we get that level down, we get that first 130, and we get that next pullback down to 128, I'd be a very happy guy. I got a feeling maybe we go up though. Well, sure. Yeah, it's wild. Every vote for Nvidia earnings says it's going to go up. And it's all the analysts think the same thing too. And that kind of always makes me a little nervous when I see that, you know? Yeah, it looks like we got 7 to 8 minutes here, if that is the news that's coming out. It'd be nice if you could bring up 2 boxes on Weeble. I wonder if you can. Where you can bring up like the news to come up, you know, comparatively with it. That'd be kind of nice. Let me see if I can get that up. Nvidia website earnings. Yeah, I'm looking on the website. It says earnings call 5 p.m. Supposed to be reported right after the bell, but I don't see no news. 4:20 is probably our time. Come on. 135. I guess I could have started the live stream at 4:18 to be honest, not realizing. See, normally I'm used to like it's 4:05. They just start blasting out the news. Not today. Yeah, I got this. See, on Fidelity Active Trader Pro, they do have a news tab, so I do have that. So it will update eventually, but the stock's probably going to move a ton before that. But we'll try to pick up whether it's good news or bad news. It's running up right to that 21 EMA. It might be a good time to actually release it. And you see, interesting, VWAP. It's above VWAP right now. VWAP at 135. What's always weird is if you have multiple platforms up, like I have Webull up, and then I have Fidelity. Webull has the VWAP at 135, but Fidelity Active Trader Pro has it at 135.85. So it's always interesting to see how they're doing it. All right, so it's almost 4:18. We have 30 more seconds, then we'll have 2 minutes left. 2 minutes to go. They got to release these earnings soon. Now, with your leaps, did you buy them near the premium? Because from what I've experienced when I buy options and I buy it near earnings, are you paying higher premiums? Looks like Nvidia's recovered fully. If we could just get some news on these bad boys. Let's move these guys over here so we know. It does go to 128 over there. Yeah, I say a couple of months is the way to go, Scott. That's why I was asking you, because anytime that I do leaps, I always watch out for the earnings because I feel like it just crushes it. Like you just pay so much just for that option. All right, here we go. Finally. So it's on my Fidelity Active Trader Pro, so you guys can get synced. If you have a clock on your trading platform, it's 4:19:25 right now. So we should get some news in 30 seconds. Hopefully something that crushes Nvidia. So I want to get the dump and then I want the pump. That's what I'm rooting for. Oh, CRM had earnings? Nice. All right, so we should get news in the next 5 seconds if it's accurate. Can't tell if it's moving or not, to be honest. It looks like it's so fast. Come on. All right, it looks like we're starting to go lower here. I think 135, at least from what I'm seeing on my screen. It's a little lagging a little bit, but No, I'm not against leaps. Nothing wrong with that. I think it's a good idea, honestly, especially if you think long term. Oh, look at that. Okay, let's see if we got some earnings. Here we go. So announces final. They're up. It says 44 billion. They're up 12% from the previous quarter, 69 from a year ago. And their adjusted EPS was 81 cents versus 74. So they beat earnings. 44 billion versus 43. So they beat earnings. But I feel like it's not really... There we go. Here's the retest of the high now. So now, oh, it looks like we're going to get that retest now. If it's going to break that 137, it's going to continue to go. So we're going to have to do this. We're going to bring the 1 month up here. Let's see if it's going to break above this. Because now it's retesting it. Wow. You know, look at that. Nvidia's making higher highs. All right. So if we're going to play it like that, we're going to have to look for... Wow. Look at that. 138. Incredible. Look, it's going to 140 now. Just getting pumped. This is good for the long-term portfolio, but there really was no dip. RSI. Look at the RSI sitting at 83. Incredible. Guys, be careful. I mean, this is the first original pump. It didn't even really pull back. I mean, it only went to 134. I mean, that's like nothing. It's like 1% pullback. See if Nvidia surprises us with a whipsaw, but I have a feeling that this is it. This is like anticlimactic. It literally has moved like 2 points. Honestly, kind of bummed watching this. I was kind of hoping there would be more action than this. Here's a potential pullback here. Now this is tough because you're gonna have to be very fast if you're gonna trade this. Look at that whipsaw. You got VWAP at 136. I see that right there. Yeah, your 2 shares will definitely be okay here. The thing is, we don't know what the guidance is. You know, we got 5 p.m. is the guidance. That's really what's going to determine everything. Nvidia says excluding the $4.5 billion charge, first quarter non-GAAP diluted to 96 cents it would have been. So it looks like that DeepSeek might have hurt them a little bit. It says Nvidia guides for Q2 revenue of 45 billion plus or minus 2% on the consensus of 49.9 billion. They said they lost over 8 billion due to that H2O revenue, the export control limits. It doesn't seem to be mattering to them, though. I feel like they're doing just fine. Very underwhelming. That sucks. It's amazing. I mean, you thought they would have pulled back, but they just no pullback. Now we're going to see, are they going to hold this 137 level? Because now that was the high. You had those touches up here, 137. And I don't know who's buying up here. I mean, unless you can be very quick with the trigger finger, very difficult to buy this. You got to see what guidance says. Jay Young, you saved your 2 shares, baby. It was just Salesforce too, right? Let's just see what they're doing. Yeah, Salesforce did good, 274 up to about 296, and then it's pulling back a little bit. I'm gonna just take a quick look and see what they're doing for their earnings. I'll just look on Fidelity. Yeah, you're right. It might get that pullback then. Starting to get some selling pressure here. I mean, it looks like a bull flag, but now it's pulling back way too much. But look at that. Look at that, I spoke too soon. That's coming back up. Sometimes it makes you wonder how much the algos are just controlling this in the after hours. Yeah, I think SPLG, like you said, right? 5% Nvda is S&P 500. Unless that's specific to SPLG. Yeah, that's disappointing. Honestly disappointed. And then Salesforce, let's see if there's any news on them. No, I don't see anything. Salesforce is coming down now to earth though. From 294 down here. Looks like it's just giving it all back. Yeah, I feel like it kind of was a little bit of vague guidance there looking at it. I mean, I know Jensen is speaking. I want to see if I can get him up. Maybe I can bring him up. I think he speaks at 5 though. We'll see though. I mean, Nvidia's in a new world right now. If it can hold 137, I mean, that would be the new high that has to hold, which would be great. I mean, that really is the name of the game, just being patient. And for me, trying to scalp this, I can't scalp it if it's not moving. I mean, there's no point of buying right here. We need like clear movement near support levels, previous support levels, or breaking that 137, retesting it. I could see that entry, but it's just too risky with the earnings play. If anything, I probably should have bought a few shares at 135, but it's okay. I just thought we'd get a bigger dip. So that's okay. We still made money today. Gonna go back to Nvidia, but I just want to see. I was looking at United Healthcare. United Healthcare looks like it's. Oh, it actually did the 296. Interesting. It's getting interesting because it keeps rejecting this 300 level, and then United Healthcare is really showing that this $300 level is nothing to mess with. I mean, constant rejections. The only thing I could potentially see here is if United Healthcare were to, if this is like some really terrible bear flag that is not drawn like a textbook, potentially there for your move higher. I could potentially see that if we can get above 300 and then push. That's what I'd be looking for with that. Let's go back to Nvidia. Nvidia. So you are getting that curl back up. So if you are looking to trade this, you can. This is not it's not a terrible trade. You can trade it like this. This is your flag right here. And if this does, it's gonna have to curl up now though. Curl up like this. Back to the retest of the 140. I could see that happening. But I won't be willing to buy up here, so I'm gonna be sitting on the sidelines for this one. It's always a bummer. They make Nvidia like it's gonna be a Super Bowl, and then it was literally nothing. Like a 5-point bounce for Nvidia is very slim. I mean, if you go out on the 1 year and you look at earnings over here, this is on November 20th. November 20th, where is it? Here it is, right here. November 20th, it went from 142 up to 152. I mean, that's 10 points right there, and then down to 140. Then if you look at, let's see, you got the earnings over here. On February 26th, this is really where it was awesome. You went, this is amazing. You went from 134 all the way down to 120. That's why I was expecting, some volatility here, but nothing. We only went up. It's unfortunate. I guess what we could do is let's see if we can get Jensen on this thing. Try to listen to him. Maybe he'll say something and stock will die. Because as much as bullish as this is, it's not moving up as much as you really think it would. You know, it's pushing up to 140. It's making that curl up. So it was a decent trade idea, but I just don't like the risk versus reward on it. It's dead. It's crazy. Won't even break it. Now, for those of you that bought Nvda, like I hope you guys have some long-term shares. 1 month ago, $95, $97. Amazing buy. Kudos to you guys. Look at that. 45% gains. Love it. Just buy Coke. Yeah, buy the magic syrup. There we go. 140. We break 140. With his guidance, we're headed to 150 today. But that would be a big move, though. But that would make sense with guidance. It's another 8% you need, though. So big move right there. So we'll see watching it. Yeah, it's about to break new highs right here. If it breaks this, it's getting. I'm watching the level 2s on Fidelity, and the ask is a lot of shorts right now. 140. I'm looking at there's 400,000 share seller at 140. There it is. Now it broke. Now it's gonna keep going. Oof. Yeah, it's gonna keep going at this point. Look at that. The Nvidia holders are winning again. It's incredible. It's incredible. All right, let's see here because now you had that. We'll see if it's a fake out here because if the 140 was the resistance, oof, there you go. Now we're starting to get a pullback here. I think they're just taking profits though. Drops so quick. I mean, you see that. Let's see if we can get a pullback here. Would love to see a pullback here. Yeah, it was a good bounce, man. But the thing is, we've seen Nvidia move so much more. It's actually surprising that it was just that, just like 2 to 3 points down and then 5 points up. I mean, hopefully you traded. I'm not buying that high. It was too. I got shares much lower, and to day trade this that high, it just seemed too risky. Oh, interesting. I'm looking at the earnings per share. Oh, okay, I see. So they missed. Earnings per share is 81 cents. They missed by estimate of 0.88, according to Benzinga. but their sales beat in revenue is 44 billion to 43 billion. So I think it's all about the revenue with these companies. Yeah, we'll try to stick around till we'll see. I mean, maybe 5 o'clock. We need a real dip. A real dip. We're not buying at 139. When we own shares at 95, 100 long term, buying at like 140, 45% up is just wild. What time are we going at 6? Might as well leave the light if your arms around, you know? Let it sit for a little bit. There's a button where you can click, there's a button there where you can click, like, insert ad. So I was like, let me just insert the ad. I gotta think of it. There we go. Guys, take a look at Salesforce. What?
Your cousin's Polly.
Hold on. Give me one sec. Let's take a look at Salesforce. I feel like Salesforce is offering better opportunities at this point. We'll keep this up in the background. But look at Salesforce. It was doing well. What the hell happened? Look at this. I'm just going to bring this up real quick on Active Trader. I just want to see. Maybe there's a scalping opportunity over here. Let's take a look. CRM. So Salesforce is looking for the news on it. Anybody got news on Salesforce? Let's look at this pullback here. Yeah, I'm looking at 1.59 beats estimate, revenue hit 9.8. There we go. Let me bring it up for you guys. This is Salesforce. Yeah, they beat it. I wonder why they're just getting destroyed. This is Salesforce up here. Salesforce going down the tubes. It says they gained 8%, made $9 billion. They beat their revenue, and revenue's up 8%. Interesting. Still selling off. Nobody cares. Where was that vacation, Jay Young? Is that McDonald's? With this news, I'm gonna go in. I feel like I just need to trade something. I'm gonna go into Salesforce. I'm trying to figure out why they're dying. I'm gonna take a stab at this 280. I still got Nvda on my eyes here. Look at Nvda. Look at Salesforce on the long-term chart here. Nasty pullback here. Yeah, I guess none of us are partying because none of us made any money. We only made money during the day, but not on the earnings. On the earnings, we failed. Got me watching CRM instead. 3 IPAs. Any other earnings you guys know of? I mean, these are the only two that I really kind of had an idea on, which was CRM and Nvda. I got Nvda up in the background, but I was trading at 140. I'm just trying to keep myself busy until he speaks. Yeah, I think the dollar menu is gone now. And CRM's not even moving either. I'm looking at the level 2s. It's very slow. So we had a good run, but just disappointed. It's gonna make me go back to trading this guy. UNH has paid me like $25,000 this month, just scalping them. Let me show you guys something. Oh, check the WAP. Let me check the WAP. What do you got going on in the WAP? Oh, thank you. So we got, I don't even know what these companies are, to be honest. Elf. Wow. See, that was the stock we should have been trading. Let's take a look at this. Let me show you. It's crazy. People buying Nvidia this high. A month ago, they had it at $110. See, that's an earnings call right there. 94, that is something that we could have traded. I just didn't even know about it. 92 down to 76, 17% pullback. That's what you're looking for with the swings. Nvidia's only goes one way, and that's up. So we're going to find out in 6-7 minutes. I'm going to see if I can guide from there. All right, I see. So yeah, Best Buy tomorrow. Oh, and Lee stock. I used to trade this stock back in the day. This stock, I made pretty good money, and then it took my soul at one point. Let me just show you. The Lee Auto. This is like a manufacturing car company. Yeah, Salesforce trying to hold the 280 level. It's probably a good entry right there. I'm just blown away by Nvidia's movement. Congrats to the holders. You held strong, and that's what happens. Yeah, so we finally will have Jensen Huang speaking, which would be nice. Did you put it under the announcements section, Jae Young? Because the announcements, I believe we can all put the announcements in there. Yeah, Costco's interesting. We thought Nvidia would be, but it's unfortunate. Just watching. Now I'm like, oh, general chat. That's why I got lost. Yeah, use the announcement, Jay Young. That's what it's there for. Because I'm pretty sure I've seen you post in the announcements on the WAP. I'm just gonna host probably for another 10 minutes. I just want to give Jensen Huang a chance to get a pullback here. Oh, wow. What happened to GameStop? GameStop tanked, 37 down to 31. I guess we'll set alerts on it, but I'm not going to buy this high either. I'm going to wait for 27, 28 on that. And then CRM still holding that 280 level. It's not moving fast enough. There's really nothing I can do with that. If it's not moving, you just got to let it go when you're looking for scalps. The anticipation for Jensen Young to speak in 1 minute. Let me see if there's a way we can get him up here. I'll bring him up on my phone or something. All right, let's go what we originally came for here, which is Nvidia. Yeah, I appreciate you posting that in the WAP, just so we all couldn't see it. Just need to get a, let me see here. What does it look like this? I don't think Jensen's speaking yet. I'm looking around. With all this AI talk, is BBAI bouncing? I was wondering that. There it is. Oswaldo, you still holding this? I know you bought at 410, right? This is incredible. So glad I load up on the growth funds. Just amazing. Nvda is like 10% of those growth funds plus the funds from, you know, the shares from a couple months ago. It's awesome. Good stuff. I'd like to just see where he's speaking. It's wild. It is mind-blowing how much Nvidia has moved up. Literally, nobody is selling shares. The moon.
To April 9th, but also recognized a $4.5 billion charge as we wrote down inventory and purchase obligations tied to orders we had received prior to April 9th. We were unable to ship $2.5 billion in H20 revenue in the first quarter due to the new export controls. The $4.5 billion charge was less than what we initially anticipated, as we were able to reuse certain materials. We are still evaluating our limited options to supply data center compute products compliant with the US government's revised export control rules. Losing access to the China AI accelerator market, which we believe will grow to nearly $50 billion, would have a material adverse impact on our business going forward and benefit our foreign competitors in China and worldwide. Our Blackwell ramp, the fastest in our company's history, drove a 73% year-on-year increase in data center revenue. Blackwell contributed nearly 70% of data center compute revenue in the quarter, with a transition from Hopper nearly complete. The introduction of GB200 NVL was a fundamental architectural change to enable data center scale workloads and to achieve the lowest cost per inference token. While these systems are complex to build, we have seen a significant improvement in manufacturing yields, and rack shipments are moving to strong rates to end customers. GB200 NVL racks are now generally available from auto builders, enterprises, and sovereign customers to develop and deploy AI. On average, major hyperscalers are each deploying nearly 1,000 NVL72 racks, or 72,000 Blackwell GPUs per week, and are on track to further ramp output this quarter. Microsoft, for example, has already deployed tens of thousands of Blackwell GPUs and is expected to ramp to hundreds of thousands of GB200s with OpenAI as one of its key customers. Key learnings from the GB200 ramp will allow for a smooth transition to the next phase of our product roadmap, Blackwell Ultra. Sampling of GB300 systems began earlier this month at the major CSPs, and we expect production shipments to commerce later this quarter. GB300 will leverage the same architecture, same physical footprint, and the same electrical and mechanical specifications as GB200.
I'll leave this on so you can listen to it.
The GB300 drop-in design will allow CSPs to seamlessly transition their systems and manufacturing used for GB200 while maintaining high yields. B300 GPUs with 50% more HBM will deliver another 50% increase in dense FP4 inference compute performance compared to the B200. We remain committed to our annual product cadence, with our roadmap extending through 2028, tightly aligned with the multiple year planning cycles of our customers. We are witnessing a sharp jump in inference demand. OpenAI, Microsoft, and Google are seeing a step function leap in token generation. Microsoft processed over 100 trillion tokens in Q1, a 5-fold increase on a year-over-year basis. This exponential growth in Azure OpenAI is representative of strong demand for Azure AI Foundry, as well as other AI services across Microsoft's platform. Inference serving startups are now serving models using B200, tripling their token generation rate and corresponding revenues for high-value reasoning models such as DeepSeek R1, as reported by Artificial Analysis. Nvda Dynamo on Blackwell NVL72 turbocharges AI inference throughput by 30x for the new reasoning models sweeping the industry. Developer engagements increased, with adoption ranging from LLM providers such as Perplexity to financial services institutions such as Capital One, who reduced agentic chatbot latency by 5x with Dynamo. In the latest MLPerf inference results, we submitted our first results using GB200 NVL72, delivering up to 30x higher inference throughput compared to our 8 GPU H200 submission on the challenging Llama 3.1 benchmark. This feat was achieved through a combination of tripling the performance per GPU as well as 9x more GPUs, all connected on a single NVLink domain. And while Blackwell is still early in its life cycle, software optimizations have already improved its performance by 1.5x in the last month alone. We expect to continue improving the performance of Blackwell through its operational life, as we have done with Hopper and Ampere. For example, we increased the inference performance of Hopper by 4 times over 2 years. This is the benefit of NVIDIA's programmable CUDA architecture and rich ecosystem. The pace and scale of AI factory deployments are accelerating, with nearly 100 NVIDIA-powered AI factories in flight this quarter, a 2-fold increase year over year, with the average number of GPUs powering each factory also doubling in the same period. And more AI factory projects are starting across industries and geographies. NVIDIA's full-stack architecture is underpinning AI factory deployments as industry leaders like AT&T, BYD, Capital One, Foxconn, MediaTek, and Telenor are strategically vital sovereign clouds like those recently announced in Saudi Arabia, Taiwan, and the UAE. We have a line of sight to projects requiring tens of gigawatts of Nvda AI infrastructure in the not too distant future. The transition from generative to agentic AI capable of perceiving, reasoning, planning, and acting, will transform every industry, every company, and country. We envision AI agents as a new digital workforce capable of handling tasks ranging from customer service to complex decision-making processes. We introduced the Llama Nemotron family of open reasoning models designed to supercharge agentic AI platforms for enterprises. Built on the Llama architecture, these models are available as NIMs or NVIDIA inference microservices with multiple sizes to meet diverse deployment needs. Our post-training enhancements have yielded a 20% accuracy boost and a 5x increase in inference speed. Leading platform companies, including Accenture, Cadence, Deloitte, and Microsoft, are transforming work with our reasoning models. NVIDIA NeMo microservices are generally available across industries or are being leveraged by leading enterprises to build, optimize, and scale AI applications. With NeMo, Cisco increased model accuracy by 40% and improved response time by 10x in its code assistant. Nasdaq realized a 30% improvement in accuracy and response time in its AI platform's search capabilities. And Shell's custom LLM achieved a 30% increase in accuracy when trained with NVIDIA NeMo. NeMo's parallelism techniques accelerated model training time by 20% when compared to other frameworks. We also announced a partnership with Yum Brands, the world's largest restaurant company, to bring NVIDIA AI to 500 of its restaurants this year and expanding to 61,000 restaurants over time to streamline order taking, optimize operations, and enhance service across its restaurants. For AI-powered cybersecurity, leading companies like Checkpoint, CloudStrike, and Palo Alto Networks are using NVIDIA's AI security and software stack to build, optimize, and secure agentic workflows, with CloudStrike realizing 2x faster detection triage with 50% less compute cost. Moving to networking, sequential growth in networking resumed in Q1 with revenue up 64% quarter over quarter to $5 billion. Our customers continue to leverage our platform to efficiently scale up and scale out AI factory workloads. We created the world's fastest switch, NVLink, for scale up. Our NVLink compute fabric in its 5th generation offers 14x the bandwidth of PCIe Gen 5. NVLink 72 carries 130 terabytes per second of bandwidth in a single rack, equivalent to the entirety of the world's peak internet traffic. NVLink is a new growth vector and is off to a great start, with Q1 shipments exceeding $1 billion. At Computex, we announced NVLink Fusion. Hyperscale customers can now build semi-custom CCUs and accelerators that connect directly to the NVIDIA platform with NVLink. We are now enabling key partners, including ASIC providers such as MediaTek, Marvell, Alchip Technologies, and Astera Labs, as well as CPU suppliers such as Fujitsu and Qualcomm, to leverage NVLink Fusion to connect our respective ecosystems. For scale out, our enhanced Ethernet offerings deliver the highest throughput, lowest latency networking for AI. Spectrum X posted strong sequential and year-on-year growth and is now annualizing over $8 billion in revenue. Adoption is widespread across major CSPs and consumer internet companies, including CoreWeave, Microsoft Azure, Oracle Cloud, and xAI. This quarter, we added Google Cloud and Meta to the growing list of Spectrum X customers. We introduced Spectrum X and Quantum X silicon photonics switches featuring the world's most advanced co-packaged optics. These platforms will enable next-level AI factory scaling to millions of GPUs through the increasingly power efficiency by 3.5x and network resiliency by 10x, while accelerating customer time to market by 1.3x. Transitioning to a quick summary of our revenue by geography. China, as a percentage of our data center revenue, was slightly below our expectations and down sequentially due to H20 export licensing controls. For Q2, we expect a meaningful decrease in China data center revenue. As a reminder, while Singapore represented nearly 20% of our Q1 build revenue, as many of our large customers use Singapore for centralized invoicing, our products are almost always shipped elsewhere. Note that over 99% of H100, H200, and Blackwell data center compute revenue billed to Singapore was for orders from US-based customers. Moving to gaming and AI PCs. Gaming revenue was a record $3.8 billion, increasing 48% sequentially and 42% year on year. Strong adoption by gamers, creatives, and AI enthusiasts have made Blackwell our fastest ramp ever. Against a backdrop of robust demand, we greatly improved our supply and availability in Q1 and expect to continue these efforts in Q2. AI is transforming PC and creator and gamers. With a 100 million user installed base, GeForce represents the largest footprint for PC developers. This quarter, we added to our AI PC laptop offerings, including models capable of running Microsoft's Copilot+. This past quarter, we brought Blackwell architecture to mainstream gaming with its launch of GeForce RTX 5060 and 5060 Ti, starting at just $299. The RTX 5060 also debuted in laptops starting at $1,099. These systems that double the frame rate and slash latency. These GeForce RTX 5060 and 5060 Ti desktop GPUs and laptops are now available. In console gaming, the recently unveiled Nintendo Switch 2 leverages Nvidia's neural rendering and AI technologies, including next-generation custom RTX GPUs with DLSS technology, to deliver a giant leap in gaming performance to millions of players worldwide. Nintendo has shipped over 150 million Switch consoles to date, making it one of the most successful gaming systems in history. Moving to Pro visualization. Revenue of $509 million was flat sequentially and up 19% year on year. Tariff-related uncertainty temporarily impacted Q1 systems, and demand for our AI workstations is strong, and we expect sequential revenue growth to resume in Q2. NVIDIA DGX Spark and Station revolutionize personal computing by putting the power of an AI supercomputer in a desktop form factor. DGX Spark delivers up to 1 petaflop of AI compute, while DGX Station offers an incredible 20 petaflops and is powered by the GB300 superchip. DGX Spark will be available in calendar Q3 and DGX Station later this year. We have deepened Omniverse's integration and adoption into some of the world's leading software platforms, including Databricks, SAP, and Schneider Electric. New Omniverse blueprints, such as Mega for at-scale robotic fleet management, are being leveraged in Kion Group, Pegatron, Accenture, and other leading companies to enhance industrial operations. At Computex, we showcased Omniverse's great traction with technology manufacturing leaders, including TSMC, Quanta, Foxconn, Pegatron. Using Omniverse, TSMC saves months in work by designing fabs virtually. Foxconn accelerates thermal simulations by 150x, and Pegatron reduced assembly line defects rates by 67%. Lastly, with our automotive group, revenue was $567 million, down 1% sequentially, but up 72% year on year. Year on year growth was driven by the ramp of self-driving across a number of customers and robust end demand for NEVs. We are partnering with GM to build the next gen vehicles, factories, and robots using Nvda AI, simulation, and accelerated computing. And we are now in production with our full stack solution for Mercedes-Benz, starting with the new CLA, hitting roads in the next few months. We announced Isaac, Groot, and won the world's first open, fully customizable foundation model for humanoid robots, enabling generalized reasoning and skill development. We also launched new open NVIDIA Cosmo World Foundation models. Leading companies include 1X, Agility Robotics, Figure AI, Uber, and Wabi. We've begun integrating Cosmos into their operations for synthetic data generation, while Agility Robotics, Boston Dynamics, and XPen Robotics are harnessing Isaac simulation to advance their humanoid efforts. GE Healthcare is using the new NVIDIA Isaac platform for healthcare simulation, built on NVIDIA Omniverse and using NVIDIA Cosmos. The platform speeds development of robotic imaging and surgery systems. The era of robotics is here. Billions of robots, hundreds of millions of autonomous vehicles, and hundreds of thousands of robotic factories and warehouses will be developed. All right, moving to the rest of the P&L. GAAP gross margins and non-GAAP gross margins were 60.5% and 61% respectively. Excluding the $4.5 billion charge, Q1 non-GAAP gross margins would have been 71.3%, slightly above our outlook at the beginning of the quarter. Sequentially, GAAP operating expenses were up 7% and non-GAAP operating expenses were up 6%, reflecting higher compensation and employee growth. Our investments include expanding our infrastructure capabilities and AI solutions, and we plan to grow these investments throughout the fiscal year. In Q1, we returned a record $14.3 billion to shareholders in the form of share repurchases and cash dividends. Our capital return program continues to be a key element of our capital allocation strategy. Let me turn to the outlook for the second quarter. Total revenue is expected to be $45 billion, plus or minus 2%. We expect modest sequential growth across all of our platforms. In data center, we anticipate the continued ramp of Blackwell to be partially offset by a decline in China revenue. Note, our outlook reflects a loss in H20 revenue of approximately $8 billion for the second quarter. GAAP and non-GAAP gross margins are expected to be 71.8% and 72% respectively, plus or minus 50 basis points. We expect better Blackwell profitability to drive modest sequential improvement in gross margins. We are continuing to work towards